So we're in a paradox, which is that we have to find institutions that can help us pull back from the precipice. At the same time, we have to recognize that we're not very good at managing complex systems, and the more we try to manage them, the more we mess them up. So there has to be a kind of humility associated with atonement, right? That we've really made enormous mess of this, right? And that there has to be some sort of organized pullback, recognizing that as we pull back, we're probably going to make a lot of mistakes in the process. So that's why I call this compassionate retreat right now. I think there are sort of four things that are necessary at the international level. One is some sort of something that might be thought of as roughly analogous to the Federal Reserve or the Bank of Canada or something like that, where you try to think about how to manage the economy, the global economy in this case, right? But the tools you have, or the conceptual framework you have, is the framework that was in Peter's slide of all of the various feedback loops, right, between the economy that's sort of in the middle of the diagram, and then the Earth systems in which it's obviously embedded. So an institution which tries to understand how the economy fits the Earth systems, and then sets up the regulatory policies that can keep the economy working within that system. So I call that either the Earth or Global Reserve. So the tools aren't just the money supply and interest rates. Those are probably tools within a much broader sort of policy portfolio to get the economy to fit faster. So that's sort of institution number one. Institution number two is some kind of international body that has powers with respect to, I would think, at least human rights and environment, with possibly modeled after the European Union, without the neoclassical economics dimension of the European Union. I guess it's a heart transplant, right? Take the neoclassical conception out and put the ecological economics conception in, right? Good. Hopefully it's surviving. I don't know what drugs you would use in order to make it all work, but and then third, maybe the easiest one is expand the powers of the World Court and make it mandatory. And then last, and this is a question you were asking, I think, about the fiduciary bodies, but I can't answer that question without sort of giving you the whole picture, is took a lot of this, first place, the notions of fiduciary and trusteeship are related notions, but they're not quite the same. And what we need to do is put the use of the global commons in the hands of trustees. And Peter Barnes wrote a book on this called Who Owns the Sky? So Capitalism 3.0. Both books address this question. And he suggests this for the US of setting up the rights to emit carbon basically have to be purchased. The money is given to this trusteeship body, which then can spend the money in a variety